February 28th. It's a Saturday. Tonight is Storm King's last show. After, I think, 7 years or something. We started it in 2006, and it's sort of wrapped up now. It's kind of come to full circle for me. I'm completely ready to let it go and move on to this new Meditation Ensemble project. I'm Scott, Kimee. For those of you who don't know Chad, this is Chad Hammett. Chad has done all the music with me for Black Yoga ever since the beginning. So, and a long time ago, Chad and I got the idea of, this is really great using all these bands, but what would be really awesome, since these bands aren't exactly doing what we want them to do all the time, is like, why don't we just make our own music? So we started talking about that about two years ago. And about 2 years ago, I started throwing seeds in people's brains, like, hey, if we ever did this thing, would you be interested? You know, Kimee and I have run this record label, the Unreleased label, for over a decade, and so I've worked with a lot of different bands, a lot of drone bands, a lot of people who'd be interested in this sort of thing. So, so I started throwing that kind of stuff into people's heads and seeing where that would go. A couple years later, after the class has been going well and recognition had started picking up, it got more serious, and I talked to, just on our own accord, I talked to Joseph Stammerjohn about the possibility of doing a DVD and a video series about a year ago, and we thought it was a great idea. We wanted to embark on it then, but we just didn't have the time, money, or resources really to make it happen at that time, so we just sort of shelved the idea for a bit. And then about 6 months ago, a guy named Eric Corbin from Screaming Crow Records contacted us and wanted to know if we'd be interested in doing a DVD. And it's like, hey, holy shit, we just planned this. Yes, that would be awesome, let's do that. So here we are now. It is 7:43, and I'm just now returning home. I left my house, I think, at 9:20 this morning or something. I'm at 113.9 miles. I just drove to go to Chad's, go to Mark's, go to Chad's, go to home. Made one quick pit stop over at Joe Stammerjohn's on the way. I wanted to dump a bunch of files, the footage that I got off of here, and some of the stuff off the camera, but it wasn't working out right, so it was kind of a wasted 30 minutes right there that I'll have to explain later when I'm trying to explain where I've been all day. He said, I think this would be a great idea, you guys need to do this DVD. And we said that would be fantastic, but you know, we had to readdress all of the same concerns we had before. We were just like, we would love to do a DVD, but we can't even reasonably consider using all of the bands whose music we've been using in our playlists regularly. There's just no way. I mean, there would be a laundry list of ones that would be really cool with it, and we could obtain rights and stuff like that, no problem. But ultimately, like, I'm never going to get rights from Peter Gabriel to use his Passion soundtrack on our Black Yoga mix. You know what I mean? It's never going to happen. So we were like, all right, so let's readdress this idea of creating new music and doing a DVD. Group meeting of the Black Yoga Meditation Ensemble, the first semblance of more than one satellite at one time. So this is kind of cool. And so we've been jamming, we've all been working on these songs. You all know that we have this project, but you know, what is this project? I have never really fully gone into much detail with anyone in particular, except for Chad knows a lot of things, Kimee, and then people know like semblances of what's going on, but ultimately, we are now into February, and we're here today, we're now into March 8th, and we're going into the studio in about 2 weeks, under 2 weeks, so not next weekend, but the weekend after that is when we step into Tree Lady Studios to actually record some of the project. There were just, you know, overall there was about 20, well, let's see, Chad says the number goes up every time, but let's just say 22, 25 people or so involved in this big music project. 2 weeks ago, 2 weeks ago was sort of the culmination of that, where literally, not inflated, 21 of us went into Tree Lady Studios in Turtle Creek and created sort of this big epic doom metal project. It was like essentially all the members of Vulture and all the members of Storm King and the group that we had put together all come together into one place. And we took all these songs and we'd sort of been playing for a while, and we didn't really write any structures. We just sort of took them as themes, and we went into the studio with all these people who really kind of knew but kind of didn't know what was going on, much like you people. Long story short, now we've got this huge library of music that we're working on to edit, and that is going to end up being the soundtrack to this DVD. We got a while to go before we record. We're not actually going to be playing anything for about another hour or so. I want to kind of like make it as natural, organic as possible, and kind of recreate sort of the way that we've done jams and things like that in the past, because that's what we're really trying to capture this weekend. What's up, Bagaki? Nice of you to join us. All right, we're just getting rolling, so you're just on time. Look at that. There's an itinerary. You guys just have the timeline. What's on this master sheet also has the songs we're going to do. There's going to be 10 songs that we're going to go over, and plus there's going to be a lot of jam time, a lot of getting you guys to sort of feed off of each other and see what comes out of that based on the threads and the themes that we've already started.